Right, so I am here with Jemma Freese from freesetrio, who we supported in Launchpad in 2019. For everyone watching who doesn't know, I'm Ash. I am the marketing and communications coordinator for Launchpad and Music Leads. And today we are just going to talk to Jemma about her experiences of being a Launchpad artist and all of the music that she's up to. So that was a lot of my voice, wasn't it? So So yeah, Gemma, would you like to tell us a little bit about your band freesetrio, who we supported on Launchpad?
Yes, so I met Theo, who's on drums, and Chris, who's on bass. We met at Leeds College of Music, which is now Leeds Conservatoire.
Yes.
So we met there, we were in first year, so that was in 2014. And the music kind of developed over the 3 years that we were studying together. It kind of had like, it always had like a jazz at heart, but it had like other like darkness twists smoking around. So yeah, it's like a mixture. Yeah, I'm not quoting anything, I'm just making it up now. So it's like, it's very much based on trip hop, because that's one of my favorite genres.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
you can
just like,
tell that. You can tell that it is.
yes. So it just kind of has, I like exploring like different types of harmony, but also being quite minimalistic. So like, for example, in lots of the freesetrio songs, it won't be that many chords, but the chords themselves are like really like rich and like scary. So that's the kind of thing that I'm into.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved seeing you perform live and stuff. I just think your sound is so interesting. Like exactly as you've described it, like it is dark, but it's so interesting, and I'm just like, oh, I'm always so curious. So
Thanks. That means a lot, Ash. Thanks.
you are welcome. And so yeah, we gave you some mentoring, I believe, last year. So
Yeah. So we had an amazing mentor called Scott, and he basically helped with like the next steps, but like the next steps right away. So like, I've had different types of mentoring where it's like stuff to do with the future, and like I've always been like, okay, but how do I get there? So we focused on really specific stuff.
yeah,
Like literally, he helped me write an email to someone that I wanted to kind of promote my music to, and it was Loud Women, and they got back to me and stuff. So like basically, like he helped me like write that email and bridge that connection, and just being able to do that, like write an email in a way that's not too, that has all the right words but doesn't say too much. So like, I'm in loads of my emails, I'm always like, I always apologize. So I'm like, sorry to email you. I hope you like my music, but it's okay if you don't. Hope you have a great time. Sorry, hope you're well. So like, I'm just like, sorry, and I'm like, hope. So I'm like, all that is like a little bit too much for the person that's receiving the email, because they'd be like, why is this person so weird?
yeah. So apologetic about their.
Yeah, it's like, don't even know this person. She's like apologizing for everything. But I found it really hard. Like, as a person, I'm quite apologetic. I'll say sorry for things, and if someone else spills something, I'll say sorry.
Yeah.
So
But it is hard, like especially like putting yourself out there, believing in the music that you are doing, and then asking someone else to believe in that. Like it's a scary thing to do, and sometimes all you need is someone there to say like, no, this is exactly how you're meant to approach someone. You're meant to just say, hi, I make this music, can you feature it on your blog, or like, can I
it's as
get on
simple
this
as that, but like,
Thursday jam?
yeah, it's like, it's as simple as that. But I just didn't have the I just didn't have the confidence. I also was like, oh, but what? I don't want to come across as like someone who's cocky, or like
Yeah.
someone who thinks that they deserve like as everything, which is like, I don't think that. I just think that, you know, if you work hard, then blah blah blah. But yeah, I found that really hard. But Scott was really great and just like really nice as well. And he also helped with like how to promote the music video, because Freesetrio did like a music video for Leisure Island, which was our single from last year.
Amazing.
And Jazz North, because we're also on Northern Line from Jazz North,
Yeah.
so they also funded it as well. So
There's a good combination of stuff there. I think that is what it takes, isn't it? It's like you need a little bit of support from this person, and then maybe these people might give you a little bit of money, and then you've got a friend who's like, yeah, I'll do that music video for you, and it all kind of comes
it's so much like mixing and matching and being like, oh yeah, remember that person I met ages ago who said like they did this and like so it's like always like trying to remember those things, like when you've met someone and they said, oh, we should do this, but that was like a year and a half ago or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like
that's a big memory.
Yeah.
And but like I was looking, I had a little stalk of you, I won't lie.
Stalk away. You can just stalk me anytime, day or night, day or night.
Well,
anywhere.
Middle of the night preferably, but you know. So like I was just looking at like all the different stuff that you do, you know, like in terms of music, you play in freesetrio, of course. Jay Frisco, you guys just released a new single, which was amazing. It was so amazing. You play with Dummy, you play with Maximal Parker, huge. Like those are big gigs. And how do you find it being involved in so many different things? And did you find some of the mentoring advice and support transferable to other projects?
I love it because I'm very greedy with opportunities. So I can't say no to like opportunities. I'm like, if someone's like, oh, I need this, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. and then like I think about it later, which is, and it's not because I'm confident. This is kind of weird to say, but basically like, it's because I just want to do all these things. Like I love being busy. I'm kind of a workaholic, but at the same time, I'm like still not confident, but I will still go for it. Yeah. So the mentoring that I had from you guys was more about like that email and freesetrio stuff. And so the mentoring that I've had in general, like, it's been always very specific to like whatever project I've like applied it to. So I've been on Manchester Jazz Festival Hot House. That was for freesetrio as well. And then Jay Frisco have also been on Jazz North Introducers, and actually this year, well actually technically it's last year, I'm on Take 5, which is Sirius's thing. Have you heard of Take 5?
I have heard of it, but I like, if someone was like explain it, I wouldn't be able to.
Explain it. Hi Ash, explain it. Yeah, so it's like Sirius are based in London and they do London Jazz Festival. And they have a scheme called Take 5. So first you have to be nominated by, I don't really know how it works, it's very mysterious. So first you're nominated, but I don't know who nominated me, and then you then apply. So it's a little bit more, it's a little bit different in terms of the application.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm on that, I got that last year, but that's carried on to this year. But in terms of like what you said, you know, with all the different bands and stuff like that, I think because of my drive, it's just given me, like I've forced myself into opportunities that I don't have the experience in, but I will literally just pretend, you know, like what's there's like a phrase, isn't there, where it's like you just like
fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. That's what I was like, pretend till you're zen. I was like, but yeah, fake it till you make it. And then yeah, with the Maximum Park gigs, it's like I've never had an audience that big, so that was quite scary, but I just pretended that it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
And then it was fine.
I think that actually is really good advice, because that is what I have said to myself like over and over again. It's like, well, no one's gonna know that I'm terrified if I pretend that I'm not. And then like, especially when it's something you want to be doing, and especially you mentioned about, you know, like you mightn't be the most confident person, it shouldn't stop you getting the things that you want to do whenever you've got so much passion for them, I think. So I think that is a really lovely point.
Lovely. I'm just good at pretending, which is like, sounds like I'm like really like not authentic as a person, but it's like if there's something that's really scary, it's like you have that little bit of pretending that gets you into it, and then you can be yourself. Then it's like, right, I can be myself now, but I just needed to pretend me to walk over the bridge and then leave. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this. Leave me at the other side of the bridge, and then I'm myself now.
Yeah,
okay.
Across the scary choppy water and everything's fine. Analogy tied up, everything.
Everything is good.
Yeah. I have one question for you. How did you come across, or how did you become involved with the Maximo Park stuff? Because that is kind of not really, well, that I'm aware of, that's not really something to do with the lead scene or anything you were doing before. And I was wondering how you came across that opportunity.
Great question. And the thing with that, the answer to that question, I will divulge. But what I'm going to say is, like, because of all the stuff that I do in Leeds, that's why I got it. So it wasn't, even though it feels very separate, it is actually like all one thing. So basically, Maximo Park's lead singer, Paul Smith, has worked with Faye, McCalman on saxophone. Yeah. So she's based in Newcastle, which Maximo Park are, and she's played some sax on his solo stuff. And he's been, when they were looking for a new keys player, they kind of asked around because they wanted it to be someone that was via someone they knew. So yeah. They didn't want it to be a total stranger. So, but how I know Faye is because of Jay Frisco, which is my avant-garde, punky performance art band. So Jay Frisco were hired from Jazz North, this was years ago, to do social media for Manchester Jazz Festival.
Whoa.
Really, really random. So we were there, and I don't even have an iPhone, so I was like, why the hell am I doing this? It was basically Megan and Laura, and I was just like doing some like dancing. Yeah. And then when we met, we saw Archipelago, which Faye plays sax in. Well, she actually plays loads of other instruments in that. And then we went up to them. Well, we went up to Faye. We're like, oh my God, you're amazing. You're so cool. La, 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 la. We're Jay Frisco. Da, 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 da. So that's how I met Faye. I wouldn't have met her otherwise.
Yeah.
That's how I met her. And then we supported, Jay Frisco supported Archipelago. And then we ended up doing a co-headline gig. So it was kind of like my relationship with going into Leeds College of Music, or Leeds Conservatoire. Then, meeting Megan and Lara, creating Jay Frisco, being social media at Manchester Jazz Festival, meeting Faye. Faye recommended me. I auditioned, and then I got it. So
amazing.
That's where it kind of comes from.
Congrats, you totally deserve it. I mean, you've worked so hard, and your keys playing is unreal. So
thank you.
That kind of actually, like, it kind of goes back to our earlier point, like, fake it till you make it. Like, no matter what you're doing, you genuinely don't know who you're going to meet.
I know nothing about the type of music that Maximo Park plays, and I've told them that. I was like, I don't do this, but I'm gonna give it a go.
Yeah, but then you're fresh as well. You're bringing in different kind of influences, and you're going to do something that they mightn't have expected with it, which just kind of, it's really creative then, I think.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're just extra creative, Jemma.
Extra. I'm just extra.
Yeah, end of story. There's a full stop there. And before we wrap this up, I just wanted to talk about some of the releases you have coming out, because there are so very many. There are so very many. So as I mentioned, there was that Jay Frisco one. What was it called? Do You Want?
Oh, Do You Want?
That just came out.
It did.
Amazing.
It did just come out. It's feminist fury. It's full of rage. But actually, like, I just love listening to it. Like, I don't usually listen to my own songs, but with Jay Frisco, we never write the songs. We just go to the studio with nothing but our emotions and our hunger for studios. And then we kind of improvise / compose. So we'll improvise, then we'll be like, oh, that bit sounds like this. So then we slot it into different places. So it is like improvising first, then we compose out of that. So the songs, when I listen to them, I'm like, oh my God, like, it's not composed in the way I normally would, so it feels very fresh. But yeah, Do You Want is already out, and then we've got Butterfly Wings coming out
the 6th of November.
Thank you. We have the album, which both those two singles are, called Cutthroat, which comes out the 27th. And it's called Cutthroat because on this album that we recorded, we was really like dangerously honest with each other. Like, someone would be playing something and the person would be like, that is not it. Like, what are you doing? but like in a way that like is just reaching breaking point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a good push. If someone was like, it'd be like, no, you're not like going for it. You know, you need to go for it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I
So
guess
we
you
were put.
looked at her well enough that you could have those conversations.
They kind of, we're so different, like personality wise, all three of us. They've taught me, like, I'm like the least confrontational person, and I'm like the most sensitive person. I'm like, I cry 3 times a day. I'm not joking. I'm not saying this to be like a likable person. I do cry 3 times a day.
Yeah, fair.
And that's okay. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, so the other releases that I've got coming up with different bands, Domi has got a single. Domi is like a kind of a pop, European pop band.
Yeah.
And we've got a single coming out on the. Actually, it's not coming out on the date that you have. So let's just say it's coming out.
Coming out.
It's coming out.
That always happens. Things always get pushed. I don't think I've ever released something on the day I said I would.
Absolutely not. And I've started, so I've written a new freesetrio album, which we've not even started recording yet, but I'm so excited. Woo!
I'm buzzing for it.
And so I've got a spinny chair, so I'm like doing this all the way through this thing. Okay, I'll stop now. And I've written a new solo album. Actually, I've written basically 2. I need to figure that out. But it's just me. So it's just vocals and like synths, and I kind of want to keep it within that because I haven't done something that's totally solo, and I think it's a lot more personal, and it's kind of has lots more rapping and spoken word in it. It has a lot of like dark electronic influences, but not similar to Freeze. It's like, I guess it's similar to Freesetrio, but because it doesn't have drums and it's not gonna have a bass guitar, and it's very much like I'm just saying anything. I'm not like I don't feel like in my solo album I'm just being totally free. So
yeah, that's
sorry, I literally spoke so much now.
No, it's great. You're just reinventing the wheel constantly, and it is unreal, and it is a pleasure to be able to support you through Launchpad. And
well, thank you, like thanks so much, because like Musical.ly is just really kind, and just really like the communication was just great. Like the mentoring was great. The money we got, a free share, got money which we haven't spent yet. Whoops.
Money in the bank.
That's gonna go towards the new album, and that's so thanks.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Well, there's enough mean people in the industry that is not the Yorkshire way. People need fans.
Yes. Oh,
nice.
I love the North. Oh my God. I'm never going to London. I'm never going down south.
Not even for a weekend. Well, thank you so much for having this talk with us, Gemma. We had so many technical difficulties, but we prevailed. We are here. Everything is good.
We have learned, and we are triumphing.
Always.
Technologies.
Eternally triumphing. All right. Thank you, Gemma. freesetrio. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.